Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another stream. So, today I have this, and you may be wondering, what even is this thing? Turns out this is a never built design, real locomotive that was never built, only designs. And it's by Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. And it looks, basically would have looked like this, except the wheels would have not been red and would have matched with the rest of the base. So, yeah, this is another review, like my 416.6 and that 2882 video live streams that I made. So today I have this. So I guess first you can start off with the tender. So here on the bottom of the tender, it's simple articulation, and then it's got that thing, and then the other set of 8 wheels. It would have looked like that. And either this would have been like silver or gray or red on the bottom, but I chose to do gray. And on this side, it's got a ladder. On the top, it's got a bunch of different things. We got coal, and water. And then other things on the top. Then we got the reverse lamps and such. So, and that's the flip it around. It's basically the exact same on the other side. Alright, onto the locomotive now. So with lots of trial and error, this is as good as I could get the wheels to work without articulating the locomotive. I would say it runs decent. Articulation here with the split pistons, and then you can see flange and then no flange. It's the opposite for this side. And I couldn't really get rods to connect to here, because if I did, it would try to be pushing up on this, which would have in turn done that, and it would not have been able to rotate, actually work like locomotive wheels. Oh, it derailed. Whoops. There we go, it's simply back on the rails now. And here we have the 6 wheels. So basically, if you look at it from here, it looks like a diesel, right? Except it goes upwards on that one little part. And then you look at it here, or like, what kind of steam locomotive is this? This whole thing is a steam locomotive, and it's got a diesel cab from like an EMD or an Alco PA, like an EMD E or F unit, and or an Alco PA -1, I believe, or something. I forgot. But here at this side, we have the front of the boiler. We've got the stack. We've got the sand dome or the steam dome, and other little details. And down on this side, we have the horn, like a diesel. And this is just the windows, and then the door right here. And I've accidentally lengthened the cab because it's supposed to be like this much instead of all the way this much. And this is actually how they would have painted it. Either that, like they would have had diesel cab and then a boiler, or they would have had like walls, metal walls over it. But I'm pretty sure the original design is the boiler and the cab. So, little details. Actually, cleverly used, like one of these yellow things for the light. This is as best as I can get to the Santa Fe logo. 8 studs wide. It's got like this type of window, not sure if y'all can even hear me, but pretty sure the audio is working. Oh boy, technical difficulties. Let me just fix. Alright, there we go, it's fixed. So, this thing took me from 3 or 4 days ago or so, from 7 or midday to night, basically. That's how long it took. So maybe 5 hours around, but maybe 6 hours, I don't know. But here we also have this 1x2, which keeps the couplers of my rolling stock and the locomotives to their tenders connected. And this is actually from another YouTuber. So it's the split pistons design. But it runs really well with the tender. I can hear it. But this is a pretty simple-ish locomotive. You can really see the size of this locomotive. And I've actually done some math. And this thing is 34 inches long with the tender. And then my big boy with this tender is 35.8 inches long. So there's a 1.8 inch difference between this thing and my Lego Big Boy locomotive. Which is kind of crazy. I mean, this is definitely the largest tender I've made for any locomotive. Whether or not it looks like a diesel or not. Or a steam locomotive. When you really first look at this thing, you can't really wrap your head around it. Like, what is this thing? It's got a diesel cab. It's got a round, circular thing. It's got steam train wheels. And it's got this big, boxy tender for a second car. But it has a rounded roof. So... I was actually planning to do this live stream tomorrow instead of today, but here we are. So, yeah, we can actually take off the coupler thing. Oh, just put the tender there. We can actually take a look at what this locomotive really looks like. So here's what the bottom of the locomotive looks like. It's got simple articulation. It actually runs R40 curves, as far as I'm aware, and it's mostly hollow in the cab because at first the cab was really heavy, but then I made the boiler full of bricks. But there's still hollow spots. Very small hollow spots though. You can kind of see in there. But if we turn this thing around, see if my camera would focus properly. It's got the ATSF or SF or Santa Fe war bonnet paint scheme, which is this. Or it doesn't really include this, except for maybe the wheels. This is a very wide looking locomotive from the front. It looks like a diesel. And from the back, kind of looks like a steam locomotive. And yeah, this thing was actually going to be a real thing. It would have seen service on the Atchison Topeka Santa Fe in around, I believe, the 1930s. A streamliner steam locomotive that would have looked like a steam locomotive and a diesel at the same time. Would have been called the ATSF Cab Forward or the 6444 because of the wheel arrangement. And it would have gone at either a top speed of 100 miles an hour or it would average 100 miles an hour on passenger train service. And there's actually a model that's been custom made, and there's also like multiple different drawings and designs, real designs, and like fan drawings of this thing, which I've also made. But I don't think anyone's ever thought to make it in Lego. So I'm probably the only or first person to have done this. But this thing runs real smooth. I'm not even sure if it runs curves yet, or not curves, switches yet. But this is a relatively short stream, like the 28-minute 2882 video. So I think in my community tab post thing, whatever it is, community, the thing on YouTube, I think I'm going to do a poll of, like, after, because here's the locomotive that I plan to make. In August, a 280, no, 40. In September, a Garrett. In October, the HMHS Britannic ship and a triplex locomotive, so that's going to be interesting. I tried to make a triplex before, based on one of my fictional designs, but that kind of failed because I didn't really know how to build as good. But now I'm pretty sure I can figure it out because you learn over time. Here, let me just get this and then put the locomotive right there. So yeah, but um yeah, this fall I'm going to have to scrap my Union Pacific big boy that I made. But I also before that might be putting it on Lego Ideas. And I've just noticed that this piston is slightly off. There we go. So yeah, it's gonna have to be scrapped eventually, because all builds must come to an end. Even this thing will meet its end. Actually, another detail, you can actually see the this is a smoke box. You can see the firebox down in there. It's dark gray. You can kind of partially see it. That it would have actually been like that on the real thing. And I move this to slightly better precision. I guess that's kind of better. There we go. But yeah. So this live stream is kind of unscripted. It just kind of happened because I just wanted to get this video out of the way. And yeah, at some point I'm going to be making another quadruplex because I've technically made a quadruplex before. It's supposed to be a 444 plus 444 wheel arrangement, basically a double T1, but it only came out as a 0 4 4 4 4 2 because I didn't really know how to split the pistons or make the wheelbase work without it derailing and the pistons getting in the way because they would have had to been like way up. But you know, it's good to have weight on the front wheels, but in this case, they are the back wheels. Because that's like this would usually be the front of the locomotive, but since it's a cab forward, the locomotive is reversed. Like the Southern Pacific design. And I'm not really sure which one came first, the Southern Pacific cab forward or the design for the ATSF cab forward. But yeah, I need to make a horn for this thing, or a whistle or something. Um, yeah, and you can see that like this part right here is extended, which is the firebox pretty much, except it would have been here. But I've got a long list of locomotives to be built. And yeah. So this will probably be the end of this live stream. So I'm probably going to end off the live stream here, unless I think of like locomotives or something to quickly talk about and get out of the way. Uh, oh yeah, since like before I have to scrap the big boy, I'm gonna have to make a Lego Union Pacific 4005 wreck thingy or something, and then like after Titanic, no, before Titanic, my Lego Titanic is scrapped and turned into the Britannic. I'm gonna have to make a Lego movie on that, or a movie on that, not the Lego movie with not, damn it, but yeah, just like a little mini movie that's probably only gonna be like 5-10 minutes maybe, and I'm probably gonna release that on April 14th next year. And after I build the Britannic, I'm gonna make a movie on that, and uh, yeah, that's going to be released on its sinking day, basically. And I'm not really sure when I'm gonna scrap this thing, but it's probably going to be in either early August or the last day of July. So that would mean I have to have plenty of footage of this thing running. So yeah, I'm actually gonna try like two different versions of the triplex and the quadruplex. So the first is going to be the triplex with the two sets of wheels and the third on the tender. And then the second version of the triplex that I'm going to make eventually will be the all of the drive wheels on the locomotive. So that's gonna be a real long locomotive. And then the quadruplex, I just barely have enough wheels to make the quadruplex, but I have to use all of my wheels except for the large Lego Harry Potter train wheels. So yeah, it's gonna have to incorporate the red wheels as well. But like this September, I'm going to be making a Garrett locomotive, And I'm basically gonna be keeping like each of my locomotives, depending on how good they are, for like either a month, a week, or 2 weeks. But the Garrett locomotive is going to be red, using red wheels, and it's going to be after the 480, which has been requested by someone to build. So, yeah. The Garrett locomotive is probably going to be either a 462 plus 264 or a 262 plus 262. I'm not really sure how that. Oh, I think I'm gonna make it a 462 plus 264. So basically, like two Pacifics. Although I have made a locomotive called the 4662, called the Double Pacific. Wait, was it? Yeah, it was a 4662. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting a little sidetracked about other locomotives here. So I'm just probably going to end the stream here at about 22 minutes long. So the next video is probably going to be on the big board, this thing, another train, or music. So see y'all in the next one. Bye.